Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Look at this familiar face. Almost to the point we almost forgot about you.
Well, I think so.
Well, you've been gone for 2 solid weeks.
2 solid weeks I was gone.
And it was so gloomy around here.
It was. So all the bad weather came when I was gone. I had glorious weather. Yeah, I heard you guys have just had one series of storms and rain right after another.
We did. You get to the point where you look at the forecast and it says 80% of rain, and you go, okay.
Yeah, one of Courtney's golfing buddies just said, I am so sick of watching the Weather Channel.
Don't they get out there? And I think that's one of the #1 lightning.
Oh, it is. Yeah, because they're out there with the lightning rod. And But
let's tell people where you have been.
They know where I've been. We have loyal viewers that are here every week.
We may have gotten 1,000 new viewers since Brenda Allen was on last.
Okay. All right, let me introduce myself. My name is Sandy Garland, and I have recently returned from a trip to Paris, Avignon, Nimes, Carcassonne, and Barcelona, Spain. It was all very wonderful.
And you do this a yearly thing, right?
Every year. This year I only took 2 students.
Now, do you take the same trip or
No. This was I'd been to Paris before with students, but I'd never been to Spain. So we did, and I just had two young ladies, and they liked Paris, but they really liked the really old historical stuff better, which really pleased me. I mean, they liked Paris; they thought that was really cool, but they liked Carcassonne, which is the most well-preserved medieval city in Europe. They thought that was really cool. And so the things that pleased me was, they appreciated what they were seeing instead of just, I'm in this really cool international city kind of thing.
They had some history about it before.
They did. And both of the girls were seasoned travelers. Mm-hmm. Before one year I took a young lady who had never even been to an airport, let alone been on a plane.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was a little nervous. Oh, okay. She was fine, but she was a little nervous. And these 2 girls, they knew how to check. They, both had passports. They both traveled. They knew how to check in. They knew how the subway worked. So that was really, really made my trip enjoyable because they were fine. They were 2 adults, and it was great.
Did you have to go through the scanner? The full body scanner thing?
No, I didn't. I didn't look like it. But we did have a little bit of excitement while we were at the Eiffel Tower. There was a jumper. The guy jumped from the 2nd level
without a parachute.
Without a parachute, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he was there for a reason.
Well, when we got there, I'll try to make this quick. When we started across there, it was me and about 4 of the people that were with the trip, but neither one of my 2 girls from Mountain Home. So we started across there, and these guys with machine guns, their policemen have machine guns, right? And they're like pushing the crowd back. Yeah. And so nosy me, I'm up there trying to see what's going on, and I could see a guy on the ground. I thought, they're arresting somebody. Because there was a distance down there, and then they covered him with a sheet. I still thought they were arresting him, and then they put a barricade up around him, and this woman named Caroline said, it's a terrorist, it's a bomb, that's a bomb shield, and all this. Sure. So everybody was getting all tense, and finally some guy said, no, he jumped. And we went, what?
And I'm sure that's typical, right? Don't they do
no, they said 402 people. And it's been there since like 1889. So only 402 people. 2 lived. The other 400 were luckier. So, you wouldn't want to live through an attempt like that, no. So anyway, he jumped, and they never shut down the tower. They basically just put him in the back of an ambulance, drove off, and said, enjoy. And that was it. And then we got to Barcelona, and the subway was shut down because there was a suspicious package left on the subway. So we had to wait till that was cleared up. And then in another instance in Barcelona, they shut an intersection down because they had protesters. Mm-hmm. So we had some excitement. And the students just thought it was great. They thought it was really cool. So,
but those countries over there, they're not we don't look at those countries as big as the United States.
It's like traveling state to state.
Right, but I mean, you have security checks every time you go from over the borders, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's
no, when we crossed from Spain to France, there was just a little sign, España. That was it. Not even a welcome to Spain.
Oh,
no,
really?
There was a building, and on one end was a French flag, on the other end was a Spanish flag, and you basically just passed a post.
Yeah.
And that was it. They don't make any bones about traveling because of the European Union. They want to make all that as simple as possible. And the only time anybody even hesitated over passports, when I was coming back in to Atlanta. I think we landed in Atlanta, or maybe got on the plane in Barcelona. There was a guy 2 ahead of me. The passport guy wasn't real happy. He asked for some more identification, and he asked for some paperwork, and That was fine with me. I would rather them be careful.
Now, when you go to a place like that, do you have every minute scheduled?
No, not really. They'll have.
But you know what you're going to do
yes.
that day.
They'll always have an activity, like in the morning you have your afternoon free. You'll have your morning free, and they'll have an activity in the afternoon.
So is this an agency that planned all this?
A tour company called Educational Tours. So it's and we had a group of 29 people. There was a large group from Lakeland, Florida. Then there was another small group of 3 from Orlando, Florida, and then there was my group of 3. So there was one married couple.
7 day, 10 day?
We were gone 10 altogether.
10 days.
There was one married couple, and then there was one young guy, 23, and then it was all female. So we had a good time. The weather was beautiful.
Good.
Yeah, good group. Everybody was friendly and stuff like that. And
did you get homesick any?
No, not a bit. Of course not. No.
Of course not for you.
No, right? I didn't get homesick a bit. But it was one thing I did note. Is how wired the students were. Almost every one of those kids brought a laptop or an iPad with them, and the buses that when we were on the tour bus, it had Wi-Fi. Everything has Wi-Fi apparently.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were Facebooking and texting and all this kind of stuff. I'm thinking, well, I don't check my email on vacation. I didn't check my email. I sent like maybe 4 texts home to Courtney.
But you have to pay for those, right?
50 cents a text.
Oh my gosh, that's still too much.
Yeah.
Just to tell somebody, hey.
Yeah, that's kind of stuff. And one of the ladies, she said, "You mean you haven't talked to your husband?" I said, $1 a minute? No, I can go 9 days without talking to him for $1 a minute. I said, if anything bad's going on at home, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
That'd ruin your trip.
Yeah.
And I don't need to hear, things are fine. How are things? Oh, having a great, because I can tell him all about it when I get home.
Yeah. Now you're going to be quite busy this summer.
I am. I'm going to
So
be
you're going to be gone. Now
on the 15th and 22nd.
Okay.
I corrected those dates, but you had them backwards. But the 15th and 22nd, and then a Wednesday in August.
So that means I've got to do some searching for a co-host, which is
I thought
fine
you were.
I do.
Is it?
I do.
No, it's not Ann.
It's Brenda Allen.
Brenda Allen.
We had her on last week, and she did a phenomenal job filling in for you.
Well, then she
didn't fill your chair exactly the way you fill it, but I'm trying to be politically correct.
Trying to be politically correct.
I'm trying to be,
Okay.
neutral with everybody.
But
she did a good job.
Yeah.
And I've asked her if she would come back a time or two, and she said she would.
Well,
so.
good. So then I can just zip off on my little world travels anytime I want to.
As long as you clear it with her first.
As long as I
as long as she can fill in.
As long as she can, I will check with Brenda and make sure she's free. And you said Joni came a week.
Joni came in, Joni Young from FNBC.
Yeah.
Bank. She came in, and it's funny. You probably would hate me for this, but
I doubt it.
I decided that I was going to choose a guest host from the group of people that were going to be on the show that week. And so whoever came in, I just says, but just minutes before we started, I said,
really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but Joni'd be up for it.
Oh, she was,
she's great, yeah.
But that's kind of my criteria. If they can
wing it,
take a leap of faith, then they're going to be good. Yeah, and they
well, Joni's got the person. See, I know who Brenda is, but I don't know her. But I've known Joni for several years, and she's got the personality to just, sure,
yeah.
Give me the chair.
It was fun.
Yeah. Well, good for you. That's a leap of faith for you too.
Mm-hmm. I live on the edge.
I know you do live on the edge. Tell the folks about your big sunburn edge, boy.
I did live on the edge. I lived on the edge so far that I
got a
second-degree burn on my back, so shoulders and suffered for it. But I'm fine now.
You're fine.
Anyway.
You're a big boy.
We have
aloe and you're good.
I did a little aloe vera.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, well, just check.
Some lidocaine.
Lidocaine? Oh, that's for your medical person.
The skin. Anyway, we've got a great show for you. And do you remember how
Only
to do this?
one newbie.
One.
Only one.
Let's
Mandy
put her
Walters
first.
Is brand new, so we want to be kind and gentle to Mandy. The rest of them.
You can. I'll be the bad cop. You be good cop.
I'll be good cop. You be bad cop. Yeah, we have Nancy Savela and Paul Ruck from the Ruck Family Center on Aging. They've both been here several times.
Okay.
Known Nancy for years. And Kim Crow-Shaner from the library, who usually makes about 4 appearances a year at least. So Kim, you'll recognize her face. And she's going to be in talking about the summer programs and classes and various things like that.
We've got a new license plate.
A new license plate. Yeah. It's actually an award-winning license plate.
We'll find out about
that. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And then 2 more library people, which you probably will recognize because I'm sure every single person visits the library. We have the best library for...
I've never been in that library. I knew you were going to do that.
Oh, girls, look at the faces. Oh, Deborah. Oh, yeah.
I need a personal tour.
You do?
Yeah, I'll get one.
I'm telling you. I got one before it ever opened because I kind of
we ought to
snuck
do
in.
a show over there.
We talked about that.
An entire hour show.
Well, there's plenty of people over there to interview.
We should.
It is an
We should
amazing,
schedule
amazing
one.
building. But anyway, the person over here doing this right here, that's Deborah Edmonds. She's shocked, and she'll do her shocked face again when she gets on the air. And Mandy Walters, and they're here, and they're going to talk about the teen programs and the children's programs and things like lots of stuff going on at our county library. And then last but not least, Mary Ann Sherman and Lacey, Andy.
Kaylee.
Haley.
Oh,
Haley.
Okay.
Yes, Haley is a beautiful little, she's all kinds of things, but we have a little chow. You won't recognize it, but Marianne assured me there was a little bit of chow in Haley. And so you'll get to meet Haley a little bit later on.
Good.
And that's it.
All right.
See, I told you I didn't even have to leave cheat and look
Oh,
at the thing
this
very,
job
very
is
much.
easy.
It's easy. If I can do it, it's easy. I'm telling you.
If I can do it, it's easy.
Well, you've been there a long time.
We'll take our first break, and when we come back, we'll be talking with Nancy Savela and Paul Maruck from the Maruck Family Center on Aging. Stick around, stay with us. We'll be right back.